European Championships 2023 here in Osijek, Croatia. Day one was filled with plenty of great games and plenty of great dodgeball. My name is Greg Whitehouse and I'm joined
My name is Jonathan Wilkie and we're here for our first game of the day, our first men's game of the day. We have Scotland men's versus France men's. After the results of yesterday, France are sitting on 2 wins, Scotland are sitting on 1 win and 1 loss. This is basically the match to decide who goes in that second place if England beat France. And looking how England played yesterday, it's looking quite likely. So both of these teams will be targeting this game for this group.
Yep, that scoreline yesterday, 21-9, that last game of the day here on court 1. Scotland weren't blown out of the water. Later on, I guess England started steamrolling, they took the momentum. They certainly have that depth in the squad that we all know. Scotland played so well, it was so close, they started clawing things back. England made a few changes and went on a bit of a run at the end. Scotland definitely in this game. France, we know what they bring, their youth and the development they have in their country certainly brings a world of depth into that dodgeball squad. Vincent Renard.
Still around.
Still around.
You could say the same for some of the Scots. And we're off. You currently can't see the screen at the moment. We'll get it switched out as quick as possible. 3 balls goes to the side of Scotland. France applying a lot of pressure on those wings. Scotland come forward with 3. Single released by Aldred and makes a hit on number 26, Anu.
Yeah, we saw what Aldred can do on that wing. He always applies that high pressure.
Auger throws but doesn't manage to make a hit. Scotland now coming forward with 3. This is a very similar setup, or starting setup. A diving catch there by Axel Auger as Cam releases onto him. Aldred releases the standing counter as France have 4 balls. But the block comes in from Renault, and there we are, we're up on screen. And this is the situation. Another catch by Auger.
Yeah, the rebound of that ball on that left side from Captain Renard. And Johnny Day charges forward and takes out Renard. I think that's a head hit as he slams on back.
As he slides on backwards, he kind of smacks his head into the bottom of the ground. All of his team goes over. Johnny looks fairly worried, but nothing that he could have done. Not his fault at all. Renault jumps up. And some cheering from the other court as Switzerland take Austria in the first set.
You can watch every game on the EDF YouTube. Likewise, Court 1 and Court 4 are streamed on Dodgeball TTV over pitch.
So we have an injury replacement as the player was hit out before the injury. Raph Dupuy now takes his place in the outbox. Is now 5 French players against the 3 Scots, with Scotland in possession. Farker, Keys and Day come forward. Big single from Keys, hitting out Gomez as he goes high. Boudon applies some pressure but doesn't manage to make any shots. That cross-court comes in from Auger. No hit. 4 on 3 now. Yep. Scotland taking this set slowly, only halfway through the set.
We know what these players can do. Single ball just missing. Villain there.
And Day gets the counter onto Auger. Yeah, not managing to make the hit.
He'll always punish up there if you're high into that neutral zone, that larger neutral zone that we see. And there you go, that high release from Johnny Day. Certainly not a small player. But yeah, all teams looking to punish when you're high in that neutral zone and you've not got the cover you want.
Yeah.
Those high wing players will always punish. Single ball.
Villan goes low. The 2-ball attack comes out from Scotland, doesn't manage to hit as he drops to get under the balls. They have 3 now. Single down, blocked.
Yeah. 30 seconds there or thereabouts left on that clock. Top right of your screen. Each half is 20 minutes and a double from Keys and Day on that left side.
And who sets himself but doesn't manage to get the hit. Doesn't manage to get the catch, from Day. as it was the first ball. Villa throws a standing. Johnny fakes him out. They come forward with the 3 balls. And the hit there to confirm the set. Very well played by Scotland to confirm the win.
Interesting one that at the end of that set, Scotland decided to throw all 3. Theoretically, if they hadn't made the hit in that, you've almost got that free running counter against it.
Yeah.
Scotland, or most teams, would like to play that single 1 ball, and you know sort of what that offers. It's that safe single 1 ball. They back their arms and they make the hit.
They back their arms and they want to really confirm the set. I think there was a couple of moments yesterday where they didn't quite finish the sets as they wanted to. So I think they're just confirming and making sure that they can do. Dupuy releases in the middle and then goes low from the big fake from Johnny Day. Day, Aldred and Faka come forward. Big single from Day. No hit. Faka blocks it into the ground. Big dodging there. And the underarm from Prudhomme. 2 singles thrown. Relton throws his hand in his hair as he misses Axel Auger, who is 6'4", 6'5" maybe. Big block from Prudhomme as he takes a couple of steps forward, throw the fake in. Goshok Dumbrell not managing to hit through that block.
So that 1 player up now. France they had the advantage that last. Make that 2 with a nice little snipe from Auger. But a hit there, a 2-ball attack.
So we're currently having some issues on the YouTube stream, but we are being co-streamed on twitch.tv at Dodgeball TTV. That is working.
And a good aggressive hit there on Day. They've made that split call, which is so perfect for someone of Day's height. He's got low, he's making that block, but his legs are still uncovered and he can't protect that low at the same time. Double ball from Scotland. Goshawk, Dumbrell and Relton on the 2-ball. One thing they'll look at is that double running counter. They are quick up that court and they'll look for it. It's a single trade, but a good trade for France. And a good set for France. They take that trade and Relton could probably in some instances be happy with a trade if we're a little further into the, not as far I guess, into the set, but when you're making a trade and there's only 5-10 seconds left.
Yeah, once again, apologies for the issues on YouTube. We are currently trying to fix those. France come forward with a 3-ball. Big single comes from Prudhomme, and he doesn't manage to make the hit.
So good morning to people on YouTube. We are now live on YouTube.
Ah, brilliant. Big Dupuy goes up, and Johnny Day sends the covering shot, which stops Dupuy, but Axel hits him as he goes low. Big plays there from the 2 tallest men on this court. Single comes in from Prudhomme, grazes the side of Keys.
Sorry, my mistake, we are still waiting for YouTube. But we are live on Twitch, which I have now posted in the chat, so if people could come across. Relton missed the catch. Aldred makes...
Oh, Axel just manages to miss Aldred as he backtracks. Aldred's taking that zone stance, but France up with 4 players to 3. Prudhomme, Ainu, Villain and Auger come forward. Big hits onto Faka. Donaldson doesn't manage to get the ricochet catch as the cover is there from front of court. The lights have come on the venue.
Interesting.
And a bottle has gone on court. Bruno, our head ref. And our head ref here at EDF, for this tournament. Just collecting that.
So the single ball onto the side of Bruhomi.
Big 2-ball attack there by the GCG men of Aldred and Donaldson. Standing counter doesn't come in. Big block there by Inu in the middle.
Yeah, he's gone for that aggressive single, but I think he's also covering Aldred that they're not coming on the forward counter. 2-ball attack, but
the line goes low.
Yeah, good dodge there. He knows sort of where the 2 balls are coming in from. Aldred tries for the backcourt snipe on Auger.
Auger, their talismanic captain in both stature and performance. They both come forward. It's 2v2 now. Block there by Anub. No, not a block. The cover comes through. He leaves it. The ball comes forward. He will release here. He goes high.
Nearly takes off Aldred, who's already off court and walking off.
20 seconds. Donaldson and Auger. Cross comes in. Clean block there. He slows it down. Collects the ball in the middle of court. Side up there. Now, 3 balls on the side of Scotland. Auger comes forwards, releases a big single. Backline has been called. You could see Auger kind of stop there as he sees the ref's reaction. Big set.
Yeah,
from the French there.
Scotland took the first and a little comfortable, I'd like to say. France now in those 2 back sets. First one maybe a little close. Well, the first one was clean. I guess it was a 5-1, I think it finished. Or a 2-1. That last one just there, finishing on the 1v1. That back line infringement from Donaldson gives Auger the win. It gives France those 2 set points. It's 4-2 now.
That ball rolling over from the Scotland side. I think even in that first set, Scotland were down 4-3, but they were so clinical with the last players. They managed to bring it back. Is it the first game of the day? Because in a lot of these sets, France are going up by 2 or 3 players, and Scotland are just doing very well at the end of the sets to bring it back.
As you can see, Day, he plays on that right side early on, but if Aldred heads out, Day often heads to that side.
Yeah, he knew, already setting himself low.
Day probably disappointed there that he doesn't take out Auger. You know what he's like on that wing. He's proved dangerous.
We've had a substitution now. Ted Goshawk Dumbrell comes off. And Ross Gregg comes on. Great shot there by Day. Gregg sends the counter on Auger as he steps forwards.
Yeah.
Big plays here from the Scottish.
Ross Gregg has read him well there because as Auger's going for the hit, he's almost
goes high.
You know, when someone's going in that throwing motion, it's the hardest time to block in that instance. You know, your whole arm is across your body.
Dupuis is setting himself low. A player is being called out.
Anthony Aldred on that front line.
The Scots not quite listening to the line refs. Probably just a bit too zoned into this game. Big single there. Dupuis doesn't manage to make the block on Day. Gomez not risking to get that ball as Day is stood at the front of court. Gomez goes low, but gets clipped on the hip.
And that is a great set for Scotland.
A very confident set from Scotland.
A 5-on-1 finish.
And the only hit out coming from a line fault from Aldred, which I believe was apparently one of their issues yesterday in the Wales game, in the Wales mixed game.
Okay.
A lot of line faults. So we hope that doesn't rear its head again. So they're just setting up for the 5th set of this game. Ainu manages to get him, pulls Donaldson over the line in that competition. Auger has gone into the middle. Renault hit out by the 2-step from Day. Renault, a substitution, he's just come back on for Villain. Big single there from Roger, doesn't manage to make the hit. Anu releases that ball at the front of court. Prudhomme releases again. They've released possession away, but there's only 3 Scots left. These rapid trades coming in really clutch for France. Gomez hit by the singles. Great cover there from Keys to stop any retaliation.
Yeah, really smart from the French in terms of that first play. They're taking all the hits when players are high up court. Aldred is hit out.
He sends that ball to Rosed. Just leaving those legs dangling. Prudhomme goes for the ball. Manages to make the block off. Keys throws a fake in just to put Prudhomme off.
Yeah. Both of these players would always look for that single ball catch anyway.
Yeah.
If it came their way.
Oh, but Greg gets hit by the delayed shot that goes high. Or high on him at least. Those kind of shoulder face shots are so difficult to read. Keys now left in on his own against 3 French players. The ball goes high. Prudhomme doesn't hit out there. 2 balls now for France. Clean block. 1 minute and 20 seconds left on this set.
Keys happy to play that timeout.
Burns the ball through the middle. Axel throws a safe shot in response. Josh Keys, for anyone wondering, dislocated his finger last year at the Euros in a very recognisable photo. Have you seen the photo?
I have seen the photo.
It's quite the
nice
photo.
One.
Big hit there from Axel Auger. Keys looked like he hadn't heard, but Keys is an exceptionally honest player. Taught me how to play dodgeball.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Who taught you?
Matthew Josiah was my...
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was my university... I guess when I started university. He was in last year of university back then.
Quite the generational difference between the two of them.
No.
And we've had a substitution on the side of Scotland. Josh Keys given a worthy break.
Yeah, when you're playing that last bit of the set out, especially like when you're trying to drain time, 30, 40 seconds, it's often tiring, especially when you're throwing that ball time after time.
Big catch there early on in the set from Auger. Now that Renault is on that wing, they've kind of given him a bit of a break in at 2. Another substitution as well. Gomez off for Cezanne, on in the middle, 22. Bolland on for Keys. Now you may recognise the surname of Enu from the women's side of things. I think she plays in the mixed. Big single there from Aldred. But a massive reply from Renault, showing he still has it after all this time. Hitting out Day.
And Aldred on a back line yet again.
Bolland blocks it into himself.
Yeah.
The big hold calls called in from the French box. Renault staring down Greg. Catch called?
I think catch called.
It looks like the line ref thinks it was a drop. Hit called.
It's a tough one there because Ross Gregg, I don't think, knows himself because he thinks his hand's under it.
Yeah.
It's always hard in that instance because if you're using the floor to secure that catch, then it's a bit of a tricky one.
Yeah. I now believe, I don't know how long we've been live for YouTube, but thank you for joining us. Thank you for being patient with us this morning. We've just had a timeout called, I believe, by Scotland. With 2 minutes and 55 left in this first half. France up 8-4. A little recap of the game has been Scotland have done very well in the last half of the set to bring it back. They won the first set from 4-3 down to really clinically win. And a couple of other sets have gone their way as well. However, France have been winning sets fairly confidently with a bit of unorthodox play. Lots of releasing, catching Scotland off guard. It being the first game of the day, warming into these things and warming up can be a massive, massive factor. Also, how far you are away from the venue is a big thing. I know Scotland are, I'm fairly certain, on the other side of us yet. However, they've hired cars, I believe, so they've come over. France are just down the road. A brisk 10-minute walk away.
Yeah, and NI are close to that also.
Yeah, they're in between us and they're in between the EDF hotel and the venue.
They are also using Bolt scooters to navigate the city.
So are Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, everyone.
Who are out by my partner's Airbnb. And they're using Bolt scooters. So are you. But we've started back up again. They might have made 2. No, just the one. Ted Goshok Dumbrell on for Michael, or Stephen Donaldson, sorry. Big hit there by Renault. Prudhomme goes high. Doesn't manage to get the block across. Strong shot from Aldridge coming through. But Dupuis hits him through the block. Dupuis not managing to really warm into this game, but that hit will give him a lot of confidence going forward. Big 2-ball attack there, and Renault goes high on Cam Relton. A hand up in apology there, but that 2-step is so rapid. Bolland hit out also on the other wing. Clipped there on the foot by Cezanne, who doesn't manage to take the catch, but Renault releases onto Goshok Dumbrell as he goes low at the back of court.
The France team have read every single possible outcome of that so well. Renard, he pushes up, he's so aggressive in that higher zone. Yes, Goshok Dumbrell gets the hit back court, who's punishing Ross Gregg. Counter is perfect. He takes the time, he puts the fake in, Goshok Dumbrell goes low, and they get the hit. Both, I believe, if you refresh the browser, either the YouTube and the Twitch, certainly the Twitch is okay. There is no frame rate lag now, as far as I'm aware. Sorry for the early morning issues. Johnny Day with the single. But Relton, his hit out early. Relton cannot seem to get his hands around any of these single balls. Normally someone you'd favour every single time to take that single ball catch.
Prudhomme manages just to survive. Big calls from the French just to tell him that the ball has not been trapped. Scotland coming forward, 3 balls again. Big single out ball from Day. Auger being called out there. 2-ball attack there. Big 2-step comes through on Gregg. Renault thinks he's made the hit.
I think it bounces just before.
But Gregg is a very honest player.
Single ball released by France. They'll happily take this time out into that first half. They're only 1 player down at this point. Back line.
Cezanne called for a line fault. The block just pops up on Renault. Dupuis goes through the legs. And who comes forward with the ball from the back of court is now even on court. Renault goes high. Gregg takes the catch on Dupuis and the set ends. Scotland win. Gregg showing what he can do on court. Massively pumped there as he takes that catch. A bit of inexperience there from Dupuis to not throw at Ross Gregg when he's released.
And in any part of the court, a single ball, Ross Gregg down low, he'll always take that catch. Those knees sort of outward pointing. It's weird how to explain it, I guess, unless you see it. You know, when someone drops to their knees and their legs point out. like we said, all issues should now be fixed, but we are available in the YouTube comments and in the Twitch comments, both on Dodgeball TTV on Twitch and Dodgeball TTV2. All courts being streamed on the EDF YouTube. So Scotland take that last set in the first half.
We are just looking over at the boxes. A big name returning to Scottish Dodgeball was Scotty Whitelaw. He has a reoccurring injury.
It's normally his ankle that gives him injuries, but I believe his thigh, he pulled a muscle yesterday in his thigh.
Yes, so he wasn't playing in that Scotland game, and he's not kitted up for this game. I think Scotland men have 13 players, and you're only allowed to select 12 for each game. So they have Dan Doherty taking that 12th man space instead.
Yep, like we said yesterday, squads can have a group of 14 in their full squad, but per game you can only submit 12.
Yes. Looking across the other courts, the England men are beating Norway men 18-0.
Yeah, 2 minutes left on that first half. I can't quite see the score.
On the Austrian men versus the Swiss men.
And the 10-8 to Austria.
Very close game there. But also an exceptionally close game here on the centre court. France 10, Scotland 6. That last set being decided in the dying moments as a release from Dupuis gets caught by Greg to turn the tides after some amazing hits from the Frenchmen.
Doesn't even need to actually go for that hit, the catch anyway. I think they're up 3-2 at that point anyway.
Scotland?
Yeah.
No, the catch won them the set, I'm fairly certain. I think they were down in place.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought Ross Gregg had made a hit previous to the...
No, Renault jumped over Ross's throw.
Tough one because it's always the sound sometimes you're after. Refs are told always not to go on a sound because that can
and we said
sometimes
yesterday that we find the sound
a bit deceiving.
Yeah, especially from the stream.
Yeah.
But we trust the refs to do a brilliant job. The line refs here being the Northern Ireland women, and our centre refs being Bruno and the other ref.
For people that are watching the stream, always a big thank you. Good night to some people, because it's 2 a.m, I believe, in Canada.
Yes.
Hello to other people
who are just waking up. As it is just turning 8 o'clock in the UK.
A lot of Europe are, I guess, on the same time zone.
Yep, +1. Or GMT +1. Just recalibrating. We have a lovely camera in front of us that you'll see occasionally. It's controlled by the production van that is off-site. So when it's moving around, it's a bit unnerving for us in the commentary box. But we're setting back up for the next half. Substitutions on the side of Scotland. Graham Rothney being brought on for Anthony Aldred. Aldred had personally a 50-50 set. 50-50 half. I think he made some amazing hits at the beginning of the sets, but couldn't quite survive long enough to see it out through the end.
I think sometimes the problem, especially with Aldred, and it's not a bad thing by any means, is he's so aggressive that with that single ball, but sometimes he's caught sort of left standing high up into the court. He's always looking to take that trade and punish players for releasing their single when they don't need to be.
Yeah. And we do have a substitution on the side of France. Currently, annoyingly cannot see the numbers anymore.
As days go by and we head into knockouts tomorrow and finals on Sunday, there will be more cameras available. Single ball on Ross Gregg to start us off from...
Doesn't manage to get the block, the block through. I don't know if you picked that up on the court microphone. He shouted, "That's what I do." Rothney choosing the right target there as Dupuis had gone low very early on. Day now occupying the wing where Aldred was, as Greg had mentioned earlier. Single there from Auger onto Relton. Relton comfortably going low and blocking that shot.
How do you see this game ending personally, Wilkie? What do you see sort of the outcome being? The 2-ball on Auger. They know he is a threat on that left side.
Yeah, big threat there on Axel. Called for a line fault though. Big dodge there by Relton. I think we'll just have to see how the first minute and a half of all of these sets have been really, really even. But it's the latter stages of each set that have kind of been slipping away from Scotland, or being their make or break where they're bringing it back. So it's all about how well they can survive going into those clutch, crucial moments. Big hit there by Dupuis.
And Rothney with a single ball on that left side as well.
No hit there by Dupuis, sorry. He releases on Day, doesn't manage to make the hit. Relton comes forward, but Renault is covering him. Bounce is being called.
No, that's a close one there, because although it looks like it bounces, I think he secures it on his knee.
He's trying to trap it against his leg. They're calling it a catch.
Yeah.
Bruno had the best angle of that. A big catch being called, bringing on Auger. The Scottish players not quite happy with that, as a catch went the other way against Greg. Rothney made a great block there, just to guide the ball away from his body as the big single came in from Auger. Day with a big shot on Cezanne, but not managing to make the hit, the in-swinging shot. Auger has a lot of issues with his shoulder because of that whip action he has, and he loves an in-swinging.
Scotland falling custom there to just trying to take out Auger. They've given him the first one and he's blocked it, but Rothney thinks he can take it on the second. But a good jump.
Graham goes high there. Does well. Rothney's so good at staying alive.
Yeah, acrobatic from Rothney every single time. You know that leap that comes in from him.
On this free-throw catch by Auger, showing why he's such a threat on court. Bruno just collecting the ball from the other court. Day doesn't manage to make the free throw. Lefton on his own. 5 balls for the French. Let's see what Day does in this situation. He gets hit out by the lovely coordinated attack from the French, and that's a massive set.
From the side of France there, you cannot ask for better timing. Those 3 that come in central, every ball is looking at being aggressive on Day. They do just that. The 2 on the delay, just in case he takes the catch and makes the block.
To James Brown in the chat, Ross is more dangerous without a ball.
But I couldn't agree more.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Josh Keys on for Christy Bolland. No single hit there.
Ross Gregg is more dangerous with a ball, but only against himself.
Big hit. Is there a catch there from Rothney?
No, I think it bounces after the hit.
The 2 massive hits there. 2 for 1 for the French. Auger caught without a ball there. He goes high, but a coordinated 3-ball attack by the Scots, and they managed to get one back. 4 apiece.
Oh, that's perfect from Keys there. Relton plays the high game. Well. Keys has pressed back any form of counter-attack from the French there.
Yeah, Keys has been doing a massive job covering his players. Gets hit by a single there from Dupuis. Yeah. A bit of the commentator's curse there as we were just singing his praises. But Dupuis hits him out on the standing counter.
They've read him a little too well, but Relton and Goswart Dumbrell with a 2-ball attack on that left side.
Yeah, Relton comfortably goes low there as Dupuis and the player that has been subbed on recently. Nothing there on Dupuis. But he goes for Rothney as opposed to the 2-ball attack on Relton. You think they've noticed that Relton's doing a great job at surviving those 2-ball attacks. Just have a time stoppage for a shoelace.
Now, a lot of people, I think, are trying to read that Rothney jump every time, but now he's sort of guessed upon that, and he's heading low every single time. That man heads low to the ground. He almost looks invisible when he's laid on the ground.
Yeah. Big single there coming from Dupuy.
Yeah.
Goshok Dumbo just manages to get his knees out of the way.
The French trying not to waste. Relton with a single. Looks like he's going to get sniped on that counter, but doesn't in the end.
Big block there by Dupuy. Rothney's throw is so hard to read. Relton kind of getting caught there a bit. Dupuy manages to get out of the way, and a line fault from Relton, and the hit on Rothney. Apologies.
Rothney thinks he gets the hit there, and personally,
Merlot, sorry.
Yeah.
And now a 1v1 with Dupuy against Goshok Dumbrau.
Both experienced international players.
No hits there as they kind of opt to throw at the same time.
Yeah. Goshok Dumbrau wants the majority.
And the hit there on Ted, who sends that second ball as Dupuy sets himself for the catch, dropping his blocking ball. Goshok Dumbrau sends his blood in the water and makes the hit.
He knows his
France.
game plan every set of the way.
Yeah.
He comes forward with the two. He makes the throw. He forces Dupuy to drop both balls. He's almost got a free shot. Dupuy does manage to pick up a ball, which tries to get chest pass.
Push past it through, yeah.
It's almost that more accurate attack when you're close up.
France come forward with 3 balls. Now a new substitution.
Yep.
Ross Gregg off for John Duncan. Jose sends the post standing onto the newly substituted Duncan on that wing.
Oh, the block from Jose.
Puts his hand up in apology straight away as Renault exits the court. So he said that in-swinging shot, going as far as Josh Keys in the 5 position on court, or the 2 position, depending on which way you're looking at it.
It does leave him so open for that sort of standing counter.
Yeah, that 2-step.
But what sort of, he's proved so well that even after he throws, he can take that catch, which Scotland are now aware of.
Gomez now on for Dupuy, it looks like. But also, interestingly, from the French, they're covering him. They're man covering him as well, or physically covering him, with the player coming across as well as just throwing the fakes in to kind of put themselves in front. Some rotation here by Goshok Dumbrau and Duncan. But the big hit and the catch there by Malo as it brings on Renault from the side of the French.
Yeah, Auger.
6 beat 5.
Auger just making sure that the French are calming down. They don't want to panic. They don't want to rush anything.
Oh, and Auger doesn't manage to stick those shots. Day taking the 1-for-1, but getting hit out by, I think, Prouton on the other side.
They are such similar players. They're always looking for that in-swing counter. And Day just does that on that left side.
Oh, massive 2-step by Renault. It's now 3-on-5. I had a conversation with Axel once in which last Euro somebody called him a wish Johnny Day. Big catch from Josh Keys to bring in John Duncan.
Big catch from Josh Keys there.
Yeah, somebody called him a wish Johnny Day. Oh, and the cross-court coming in from Keys, as well as the on-shot, forward shot from Duncan.
Relton has done something so well there. It's that micromanagement you're after from the players, that he's drawn that 4th ball away from France. France at one point had the 4. Yeah, you can't throw all 4, but you give yourself that backup ball.
Oh, he clips the bottom. Cezanne managing to make that hit. Gomez not managing. They come forward. A 1-for-1 there. No, Railton's not hit, but it is there by Cezanne, who dives across court. He throws and he doesn't manage to make the hit. It's really coming down to the wire here in these sets. Both sets being decided in the last 30 seconds. Last 10 seconds, really.
Yeah, they made that catch earlier on. That rebound catch that brought the French up onto a 6v4. Scotland played smart. They played clever and they didn't rush anything. They played it well right down to that last second. That last second dodge from Gossort-Dumbrell. Perfect. They win the set 2-1. They bring it back 12-10 now. 10 minutes left on the clock. That's plenty of time for plenty more sets.
I think a timeout now called by the France team. See what they can do. I think it's just keeping calm and collected in those last moments. Giving away a catch there by Keed, set lovely, sucks it into his gut as he goes low onto his knees. Does a huge job there. It's a huge ask here for France, as the momentum in those last two sets has gone wholly Scotland's way. But they've played it so well in the beginning of those sets. Now it's on to France to make sure they're clinical in that last minute. No substitutions on the side of Scotland.
This is only the first game of day 2, Jonathan Wilkie.
And it's a great start. A massive match for both of these two teams. France are yet to play England, but there was a 21-9 scoreline against Scotland yesterday to the England men's team, who are looking like a strong favourite to top that group.
The French team looking so strong in this game.
Substitution now, Cezanne on for Ainu.
No subs on the side of Scotland. But why would you? Because if it isn't broken,
don't fix it. They've done very well in these last two sets. Sometimes in dodgeball it does come down to the last clutch moments. Huge single there from Auger. Maybe Goshok-Dumbrell has been dodging the same way a couple of times. I think we were mentioning yesterday that you need to vary your dodging, especially at this level with this caliber of teams.
I think it's that movement to his left that I think the French have somewhat picked up on.
Big standing counter there from Day. The reply doesn't manage to come across. Axel releases in the front of court. Day is so fast up court. Kind of ghosting his way up there with some massive fakes. Gomez just slips over. Timeout has been called. Day was not paying attention to the ref. Timeout was called and Day released after timeout was called.
It's hard because Bruno's called timeout with his hand but not the whistle. So I think Day is only ever looking at what is ahead of the game. He's got a point.
He has got a point, but
timeout is called.
Timeout has been called and Day through. Yeah, Gomez being called out as he slipped over that wet patch left by Axel as he rolled back. I think personally, as a player, I think it's good to be acutely aware of the refs. So in that decision for Johnny to throw after the whistle, cheers coming through, I believe, for the mop in the sports hall. You need to be aware of what the refs are doing because things like that can happen.
It is the sweat stick.
Sweat stick.
That is the name it's always been given.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Plenty of support from both the French and the Scots in both YouTube and Twitch chats. But a good game to start the day. Plenty more group games to come. Tomorrow we head into those knockout stages. Sunday is where the finals start. Those third place matches and the gold medal matches.
There'll be some huge games of dodgeball coming in. Today's the day where everyone will be updating the Tournify, looking at the tables, looking at the schedule, watching games, seeing what scores they'll have to make to get through. And we're starting off with this one. Standing counter there, not coming in from Auger. Anu dodging high over the single.
Yeah, Relton releasing that fourth ball that Scotland could have had at that point. Now they only come forward with 3. Double on Auger. Keys does not need to throw this. And a good hold from the side of the French. It's smart. A 4-ball attack is far greater than a 3.
Yeah, there was and that's a second hit. Called a bounce. The French have got their arms up in the air as a second hit they thought, and a catch off the ricochet. Johnny goes low there. Keys covering him. The catch there from Day.
He has been baited in so hard there. He thinks Day's struggling to get up from that laid down position. Hits the throw. Day happy to take that catch down low. He might be a big player, but that man catches low balls at his toes every single day.
Oh, and the pre-throw catch doesn't make the hit as a big block comes in from Goshok Dumbrell, but reads Duncan like a book. I think that's the 3rd time he's done it this match. Renault hit out by a huge single from Day. 3v3 with 30 seconds left. This is where Scotland have been excelling, but he hit there on Keys. The release there gives away the 4th ball, but it's 3-2 up with only 15 seconds left in this set. Auger throws the single. The dodge there from Marlowe in the middle. They come back. Axel makes the catch. Gomez goes high. A block there from Axel, and he doesn't release as the set goes to France. Axel proving he is this talismanic captain. What a game.
What a game we've had here on day 1. On day 2, the first game. Axel playing so smart up that left side. He takes the catch early on from Duncan. He baits Goshok Dumbrell in.
Massive plays. Absolutely massive plays. The refs just having a chat in this 30-second break. I think there's a refs discussion. I believe a blue card for the French player as he spiked the ball, I believe.
That is a blue card infringement. That means he will miss this next set. France will start with 5. Scotland have to, and there is no debate on it. They have to capitalise on this set.
They do. Substitution, Anthony Aldred on for Johnny Day. About to call him Jonathan Day, which is his full name, but I think he prefers Johnny.
Middle
getting those 3 balls.
Yeah, that middle picked up. No quick play. A lot of the players are back quicker than you know it, so there is no...
Big single there again. Renault 2 blocks. And Aldred doesn't manage to make the catch. To address the comment in the chat, no Scotty. Scotty picked up a thigh injury yesterday, not playing this morning. He was in the coach's box. I believe he is spectating now. But as Greg said earlier, you can only take 12 players into a match out of your maximum squad of 14. Scotty is that 13th man, and they've brought Dan Doherty in. Just wiping up the sweat as these players have been playing for 33 minutes and 50 seconds at this stage. The hall is relatively not as sweaty as it was yesterday. I think it's a bit nicer today. But we are only at the first game of the day.
And in Croatia today, or in Osijek today, it's heading to 29 degrees.
20, yes, indeed.
So, 2 minutes 35 left in this set. 6 minutes left of this second half.
4 on 4. as two early hits come in from France, on the Scottish men.
Plenty of debates for the
5
subs.
on 4, I apologise. Big single there from Keys.
The subs that are being made, plenty of debates in both YouTube and Twitch comments. Like we said, all games available on EDF YouTube.
And co-streamed on Dodgeball TTV on Twitch and Dodgeball TTV 2 for our second commentator, the court, which is court 4. Acrobatic dodge by Anu.
Yeah, Keys pushed back there, but Rothney's got him covered in that centre there. That second ball heads out to the right. Rothney heads high.
No post standing comes from the Scots. Very cagey this beginning after that early exchange. Both teams just playing slowly. No one wanting to put a foot wrong. A game of chess on court going on at the moment.
Only 1 minute and 20. Good crash
by Duncan.
And
5
from
on 3.
That one catch swings the 4-4 to the 5 on 3. The double.
But the catch. Hit called by Renault. So they're deciding whether or not it was a catch. Cam Relton making sure he doesn't touch that sideline.
I think catch first and then line.
I think it was a catch and hit.
Ooh.
But they have called a catch.
Have called a catch. Okay, people are saying it wasn't secure but the refs have called it as a catch.
As he goes low, that second ball comes through. That delayed 2-ball attack, which sometimes can work so well and sometimes can't, but the French managed to pull it off. 3v3 now. Big block there by Auger.
Yeah, 35 seconds left on that clock.
A draw here would matter more to the French. Block there by Rothney, but he calls himself out.
I think there's a debate on he thinks it bounces, Auger thinks it hits, but...
Jay tries to take the trade with Goshok Dumbrell. 6 seconds left. Just a big dodge here. The hit on Prudhomme, and the set goes to Scotland.
They needed that set. The substitution has worked. Players are being kept fresh. Max it can be. There will definitely be only 1 3-minute set in terms of, I guess, if it doesn't end.
Because of the 30
second waiting. So what you'll see now on your screen is, although the set is less than 3 minutes, that set timer won't start. It will only start on that second half. Time has been paused briefly, just while both teams can see that.
Just clarifying how much time is left. A substitution here. John Duncan taken off for Ross Gregg. And Graham Rothney brought off for Johnny Day, who they've placed on for the last set. No substitutions from the side of France. The game's been called.
For Scotland to win this game, they need 2 sets in this.
A draw, 4 balls released. A draw would then come down to points difference, I believe. Time's been called. So a reffing decision. So a hit comes out onto Ross Gregg.
Just a debate there on who was hit out and who actually comes back into court. Men's captain Relton there just not being brought in just yet. I think he wants to more...
So 2 hits called there on the side of Scotland.
That final score, Austria 18,
Switzerland 16. But we still have 2 minutes left in this set. 3 Scots
against 6 French. They need to finish this set and win that set to then at least look at taking the win. But they get 1 hit to start. They get the 4 balls off the 2-ball attack.
Aldred
they try to
high.
take out Aldred.
Scotland come forward with the 4 balls. They go for Prudhomme, who manages the block, and a rogue single by Day goes off, but not managing to make the hit. 1 minute 50 left of this set. Catch there and the block. 2 more blocks. Time has been paused. Line has been called on Johnny Day. Backline was called, but the catch was called good. Catch was called good as he came off the back line.
And he is just on the back line. He tries to lift his feet up, but the balls of his feet are still on the line.
Fine margins into this game.
It does take out Auger.
3v4. Anu hit by that high shot.
Aldred reads it so well, that high dodge.
Very dramatic hit there. I think Anu is fine though as he walks off court. Block there, and Gomez makes the shot onto Goshawk Dumbrell. Block there by Prudhomme. The catch, not secure. No hit by Aldred. Oh, the fine margins. Keys left in on his own against 3 French players. He has 1 minute left.
The catch would have pulled it around. It would have made it a 3-on-2 in the side of the Scots.
Renault goes low. Doesn't block there. Such a dangerous thing to do. The standing comes in to Gomez. Prudhomme does not allow that ball to be caught. 3 balls on the side of Josh Keys.
They will play that defensive single ball all day long.
A block there, another block there. Renault comes forward, goes low, doesn't manage to make the hit. Keys comes forward. Gomez with the block, Prudhomme with the hit, and Josh Keys gets hit out.
The French take the second and final set. The French are going through as second in this group. There's celebrations, but the game is not over. There is still a 1.5 minute set left in this game. The Scots still have a set to play, but you can tell on their faces they are disappointed. This is not the storyline the Scots wanted.
Themselves shouting at the box, just making sure they stay respectful. This is a massive, massive result for France going into this group. Some substitutions coming in from the Scots. Thacker, Donaldson and Doherty coming on. Keys using that sweat stick. They're using, I think, a referee's bib.
What a game to start us off.
Absolutely huge. Disappointment from the side of the Scots. Elation from the French. You can see what it means to them. This has been a slugfest between both teams. Scotland clutching out some of those sets. to draw it back from not an insurmountable deficit. I think they'll be so disappointed with this result, as you said. Donaldson making that ball, getting that middle ball, Doherty straight onto the wing there. High press from him.
Single ball comes from the mid.
And he gets hit out there as Proudhon releases. Doherty doesn't manage to go high. Lots of substitutions from the French side as well, giving everyone a show in this game. Great single there by Donaldson.
Day dancing on that back line again. Relton securing the hit as the jump comes in from the side of the French.
4v3 now.
Yeah, Stradella not quite getting that ball low enough to make the block, but a good leap nonetheless.
Bakker gets out the way of the two-ball attack, giving Scotland 3 now. Come forward with the 3 balls. The standing counter comes in from Mello, but doesn't manage to hit Relton on that wing. Big fakes. Relton manages to make the hit. No hit there as Bakker blocks it. And the set is called. Scotland win the set, but France win the game.
Hugs and high fives. Then I can imagine both teams would come in for a chat.
Yeah, big regroup here from Scotland. A massive result for France.
Huge. They head through the group in second place unless something goes drastically wrong in their last game.
They can beat England.
They'll go through as first seed.
They could go through as first seed.
Okay, it would a point on set difference, which is something we've spoke about a lot in terms of
the group. Scotland have no opportunity to go through now, do they? They've played all of them.
Yeah, they've played all 3 games.
All 3 games.
Yeah. So
smaller group here in men's group B. No, it's not.
So they do have 1 game still then.
I believe so. We could just pull up the table. You do have the Tournify app open.
Yep.
The French here.
Hungary or Norway would have to beat France. Scotland would have to win every other game.
Yeah. Big results. You can see what it means to this French men's team. We know that the French have focused on their men's and their women's as opposed to their mix, and it's a massive result.
Huge result. That is a huge result, Wilkie. So that is the end of game 1 here on day 2 of the European Championships, the European Dodgeball Championships here in Osijek, Croatia. Next up on this court, we have Czechia versus England mixed here on court 1, day 2.
Which I think is going to be a massive game.
Huge game. We've seen how disciplined Czechia can be.
Yeah.
And we know what England can bring to the table. They are sometimes accustomed to playing aggressive and sometimes not always being on the same page.
Yeah.
There is a lot more clubs that play together rather than the Czechia team where there is only 1 or 2 clubs that amalgamate the Czechia national team. From England, you have multiple across the board. Anyway, we end the first game. It's a bye from me. Are you on next?
I thought you were on next.
It is. I'm here all
so
the
yesterday
time.
We were rotating. I was doing the mixed and Greg was doing the women's. I think we've switched for day 2.
Okay.
I believe. We can always check it off camera. But thank you for listening.
Yep.
Just you can see a bit of the camaraderie between the 2 teams. We shall see you at the next game.